Hello, Taurus. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Star Spinner Tarot by Trungles. There is a website, chroniclebooks.com, if you'd like to search out what else they might have. Supportive Oracle cards, Magical Spell cards by Lucy Cavendish, illustrated by Jesse Reisch. Reisch is R-E-I-S-C-H. There's no website. It's a deck from 2002. But if you want to search it out, who knows what you'll find. Somebody I know did. There's an email out there. I remember reading it. I remember filing it in case I wanted to see it again. The information's there. It's there. Alright, what do we got for Taurus? Oh, this might be real good. Alright, I'm going to look at this bottom card. I don't know if I should. Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is at the bottom. It feels like my heart is stuck in this situation. And you got the World coming in at the bottom of the deck. So, I feel like it's like I've been waiting for something to come in. I feel like I've been waiting. And I think that it's like this is the change of that. This is like things have been stuck in a certain way for a while, but now the world is changing and we're starting to see some type of sign or some type of information come in that says, well, now it's time to start getting ready. It's kind of like, you know, the way the year's going, maybe by the end of the year things will be more normal. So it's kind of like, well, it's that far out, but maybe now's the time to start planning and putting my life together the way I want it to be, so that way when that happens, I'm ready to go. Like, it kind of feels like that to me. Like, it's not going to happen in 5 minutes. I have enough of a warning to like, alright, that's going to start coming soon, so maybe I should start working this for when it's right, for when it's ready, for when the time comes. And I'm getting the Justice. Is that Justice? Yep, Justice with the 7 of Wands. Things are going to change. I've been waiting for it. The Hanged Man is not a permanent situation. I knew this was not permanent. I knew it was going to change and move forward at some point, and now I'm starting to see it's coming in. Justice coming in. I'm holding the line. It's not quite there, but it's kind of like, you know, I'm going to be taking a trip in a couple months, but I'm going to actually start planning for it now. I'm going to actually start, you know, making sure somebody's here to take care of the dog. I'm going to make sure that, you know, I know what I want to wear and I got those things ready. I'm going to like make sure for when that week comes, I'll have them cleaned and then I'll get them packed ahead of time, but I'm just going to start deciding what I want to have. I'm going to make sure, you know, I've planned, you know, for the bills to be paid ahead of time so I don't have to worry about that. I'm going to make sure this other person's going to have somebody else to take them to work because I'm not going to be able to do that for them that week. Like, I'm starting to get everything in line and like just piecing it together. What do I need to do if I'm going to be away for that week? And even though I got a couple months, I'm getting it ready today. I'm starting to plan. What will I need to do? Let me like brainstorm a bit. What do I want to make sure I got taken care of? It doesn't start very harshly. It actually feels very good. The Sun card with energy and the divine guidance all coming in at one time is kind of feeling like it's all working in a very compatible way for you. I feel like it's mostly, when I get the Sun card, it's like, this is what you expect. This is kind of like the best it could come forward. This kind of feels that. Like, at this point, the best I'm expecting seems to be coming forward. It's going pretty much to plan. I'm not expecting things to move very fast, and they're really not. But I'm also getting a lot of direct and correct. I want to say direct and correct. Why direct and correct? Is it because no, correct because I can see proof behind something here. I think that's why I'm calling it correct. It's not just about honest communication. It's about I see the communication and I see where it came from, so I know it's correct. Like, I know what I'm getting. I know what I'm planning. I know where it's going, but I'm also seeing like this is why it's correct. That's why I can believe in it. It's not just because somebody I'm talking to I believe in. It's because I can see the proof. And I'm getting Aquarius come in here with like, you're also asking questions. This is not Aquarius, this is the Star card, but does refer to Aquarius sometimes. But that really, Aquarius is about finding the truth. Like, you know, the star card is like, there's good communication, there's very hopeful communication. I'm getting that too. I am getting communication though, but I'm getting like, I'm asking the right questions. Something pops into your head like, oh, wait a minute. You know, what about if what if this happens during that time? Then what do I want? I probably should plan ahead for that too, just in case. Like, things are just popping into your head, like, I should have a plan for that too. Yeah, I'm going to make sure I do. So good questions coming in, things popping forward. Other people are asking questions, and you're like, that's a good question. I'm going to find that out for myself, for me. And you're also trading that information. Like, yeah, I've been asking about this too. This is how I handled it. What else have you been asking? Yeah, I did this, and I also asked that. Like, you seem to have like some type of energy around you where you're conversing with other people who are giving you ideas about, you know, make sure this is taken care of, make sure that's taken care of, and you're also giving that information back both ways. It starts off really, really kind of in your court. It feels really good. Feels like this is how this should go. This feels like this makes sense to me. I like what's going on here for what it is. This is the way it should go. Again, it seems like it makes sense. What is this card? Mermaid Magic Seduction. Very happy, very positive, very responsible moving of energy. Responsible moving of energy. So people you're dealing with, like, it's like you don't even have to check up on them because you already know what they're talking about and you've already seen the proof. So it's like you've already seen the proof. But when they're talking to you, they're reiterating some of that stuff. So it's kind of like, well, all right, they're on point because I've already seen that. That makes sense too because I've already seen that too. And they're adding more into it, but you're like, well, that's okay. I'll try it, but I'll also be checking it anyway. I'm like, it's part of the situation. I'll be checking it, not because I'm checking up on them, just because that's how this works. And I'm getting the Lover's card with the Moon card. There is a little bit of mystery, but not a lot. It's kind of like, you know, there's a little bit of like missing information, but it's kind of like, if you read a sentence and like there's little pieces that are faded out, you can see what word should be there, and you're like, okay, a couple letters are missing, but you know, I know enough about the subject to what should be there, and it's not enough of a mystery to really bother you. It's kind of like, it looks like it's going the right way, and I'll just double check it later. It's not enough of a mystery to throw you off, and it does seem like everything is still on plan, and it's kind of like, well, if the first part of this sentence is messed up a little bit, I think I know how to fill it in, and then when I get through the rest of the paragraph, it verifies, yep, that's what was supposed to be there, so I know. So even the mysteries aren't really that big. Like, even the open pieces aren't that big, and you're like, more than likely it's this, but I'll make sure as I keep going on, and it does fill in like you expect it to. It's not bad at all. This is not bad at all. Destiny comes in. I feel like you're meant to succeed with this, and like, you got the heads up on this. There is some mystery, and I just like, are we okay with that? I know that like the Moon card is compatible with Taurus, but you're usually like, all right, that may be a mystery, but I'll figure it out, and I'll put it in line, and it won't be a problem. And I feel like that's what you're doing. Anything that's a mystery, you're figuring it out. It reminds me of like a crossword puzzle, kind of like, all right, I see all the blocks and how things are supposed to fit in here, and I got all the clues, and you just slowly build on it, and you're like, yep, that was right. Yep, this. See, I thought that was it, and then this being here, yep, that obviously that was right. So that matches there. Okay, that's right too. So it's kind of like, it's not an upsetting puzzle. It's just kind of like, yep, it keeps coming in the way I need it to. Yep, that's right. That's good. Like all the words popping in, right, you know. By the time we get to the end of this, do we like it? I would venture to say yes. Are you holding it together, or are you helping somebody else? What's going on with that? You might have to help somebody else figure out this mystery a little bit. I feel like you might be giving some of the information to somebody else. I'm getting this crossword analogy again, but it's kind of like they got stuck, and they're like, I don't know, I got stuck, I don't understand what's going on. My crossword puzzle doesn't seem to be working out. I don't know if they did it wrong or what's going on. I think it's a faulty crossword puzzle. And you're like, well, I don't know about that. Let me see what you got. You're kind of like, well, I don't know if the crossword puzzle is wrong, but let me see what you got, and we can work on it from there. And I feel like you have to help somebody realize, like, oh, this 7-letter word was supposed to be this, not that. And if you put that in here, you see this changes this. You got to take that out. And then if you put this in here, see how that matches? And yeah, I know this word you thought that went right there, but you see when you change these, this does, and you have to kind of help them figure out, like, well, I think you went wrong here, and then you built off of that. And I think you got to take a lot of this out you built off of, and we can fix that. You got the Ace of Cups, the Courage, and the 7. Is that the 7? It's the 9 of Wands, which is kind of like holding the line, kind of like, well, the reason it's not working out for you is because, like, you have the answers and they don't, or you have more of the answers at the very least, and you're like, well, the reason you're not seeing it is like, I think you went wrong here because this is how I did it, and it's like you're happy to help. I'm getting the Ace of Cups, but it's kind of like you gotta kind of like work carefully because I feel like it's somebody who's a little bit like. They're a little bit upset about it, like, this isn't working out, I think the puzzle's wrong. And you're like, well, here, let me help you, because I got a little farther with it, and I think I can help you make this easier. So you got to be careful about, somebody getting upset and kind of blowing up. So I feel like you got to kind of work with that, however you feel correct. And you're kind of like, well, let's kind of pull it back. Let's take out a bunch of these. And this is the word I put here. So you see how this changes everything? Okay. Now, if we go to this one, you see how, I know that's going to be a different word than you used. It's going to be a different letter than you had there. But you see how that kind of makes sense with the clue we were given, how this actually fits here. And you're kind of like having to give them a minute to like figure that out. I do get that, it's hard for this person. I feel like frustration might have got the better of them. You know what I mean? When you get frustrated, it's hard to think, it's hard to plan, it's hard to go through something. Your mind jumps from one to the next. I think frustration is really heavy here because I got imagination with strength. Like, they got to pull it back together, stabilize it, kind of listen to what you're saying. And when you help them get more of a solid footing, I do feel like you're going to help them continue to move forward, like, so that way they don't get too far off track in case frustration gets the better of them again. So you're like, I want to help them get as far as I can without causing upset. And I do feel like you're helping them come together. You got abundance here. And I feel like you're getting I think this person already trusts you, to be fair. I feel like that energy is already there. But I'm getting wisdom. Like, I feel like you're helping them. You're teaching them something. Like, you're getting some type of benefit out of this. You're definitely getting some benefit out of this, but I'm not sure where. Like, I don't know if it's kind of like better ways or different ideas on how to deal with people that are frustrated, or understanding like where that went off. Something. You're getting something out of it. I'm trying to put my finger on it. I'm not quite sure. They're definitely learning some different ways to handle things. They're seeing okay, you get this far and it's not working out, backtrack, start taking things apart and try to figure out where you went off, try to figure out where it started to go off. They're definitely learning like a better way to do things, a more stable way to do things. You were definitely getting something out of this too, because I feel like you're learning something about this person, kind of like, they are quite smart. It's just like when they go off, they just treat, like when they get a bad answer or get the wrong answer, they treat it as if it's the truth and they build off of that. And that shows like really where they really went wrong and why things go so far off sometimes. And I feel like you might be learning more about their ins and outs. Like when they get really far off the mark, like you're understanding like this is why, because something goes wrong, they don't realize it, and then they just keep building on it, but then they just fortify it, like, no, that must be right, and they get really defiant about it, and then things get really way off, and you're like, oh, okay, so this is good to know about this person, this is good to know when I should actually be watching them a little closer so things never get that far off again. Hopefully. I mean, realistically, we do what we can, right? Alright, I think we're there. I think this is going really well. Your energy seems calm, cool, collected, happy. You're just careful about how you're dealing with this person. I just feel like you're able to be more effective with this person. That's another thing. I think that's what's really helping you, is you're feeling like you're more effective. You're like, okay, I think I understand more about what goes wrong here. And you're finding more effective ways for you to converse and help this person. And you're also seeing more value in them. Like, okay, they had good ideas here. I think if we had this a little bit more organized, this could have been more beneficial for them too. So you're seeing more value in them. You're finding better ways to communicate. You're understanding more about how they work. I think this is really helping. I don't know. I hope I didn't just reiterate something, but probably did. All right, I'm going to shut this down here. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.